And we're back with another episode of El Sampler Pod today. Again, in our weekly series on AEW. This week we're going to talk about AEW Grand Slam 2022. What's up, Juan? How you doing, bro?
What's up? What's up, Javi? I'm ready to talk about this thing, dude.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent show. Wasn't amazing,
bad,
but it was
not
pretty
bad.
good. It was pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So before we even start talking about yesterday's Dynamite, there was some rumors that came out today saying that that apparently they might buy out Punk.
Yep.
So
they might be buying out his contract, according to a bunch of YouTube, Wrestle Talk, Cultaholics. I think that's actually a very smart on their part, man. Honestly, because I'm sorry, Phil Brooks brings nothing but issues everywhere he is, man.
Well, the sad part is he was honestly looking at everything. I think his run wasn't that bad, considering injuries and his age and all that. But it just exploded. I think it's a bad match of newer guys and old school guys. Like if Cody would have been there, this may have never happened. You never know. But he left for a reason.
Yeah,
because I think he was also fed up too.
Yeah,
but Cody's a little more low key, and he's like, I'm not gonna do a big stink out of it. I'm just gonna leave professionally and goodbye.
Yep.
But Phil's like, he didn't
just
give a
air
shit.
it out. Yep, just aired all the dirty laundry out there. Just started talking shit.
Exactly, which I think was a little much. I understand him, and I agree with a lot of what he said, but you don't do that like that in front of the public.
Yeah, but, I mean, it could all just be a work too, man. I'm still like there. Like I'm about like 15-20% like that. I believe that it's probably a work. I just don't see them not. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, look at the MJF thing. Apparently, it wasn't a work.
I don't know, man. I think that was a work. I thought that was a work from the beginning. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure because it was like a little. I mean, or maybe it was one of these things where Tony's like, "Yeah, just say whatever you want," and MJF's like, "Really? Okay," and he just went off. He worked himself into a shoot, basically.
Yep, exactly.
That's what probably happened to Tony Khan.
But
so,
hey.
yeah. And then they were also saying that apparently locker room morale is up without the Elite there and without Punk there. So you have all the drama out. So probably first of all, it gives other people opportunities, which these people were taking over. Mm-hmm. And then there's no drama apparently, or at least less drama.
I mean, honestly, I don't see Kenny. I mean, I don't know this guy. We're just talking here. We're just talking out of our ass pretty much, right? I don't see Kenny being an issue. Kenny seems pretty just chill. The Bucks, I think they're starting to believe their own hype. And I could believe that they are like, well, I'm not putting this guy over. I'm not putting this team over. So
exactly.
I do.
They haven't put over FDR yet, right?
Yep. But I don't believe Kenny was the issue here. I think we all know who the problem was in this whole situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can believe, you got fucking Phil out of there. You got the top 3 acts in the Elite out. So that gives a lot more talent, abilities to do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it's good. And now obviously we're going to go into the championship match, but now we're going to see why they actually picked the guy to win, because I think he is uniting everything, kind of like what we talked about in the last episode. So the championship match, Moxley against Jericho against
Brian
Danielson. I almost said Daniel Bryan. Damn it!
I know, right?
It's too hard. D. Bryan.
It is, dude. I don't care. He's
D. Bryan. D. Bryan.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's D. Bryan.
Exactly. But so that first match, not the first match, but the championship match. What do you think about that one? How do you think it went?
Really good
compared
match,
to other match. Yeah.
Really good match, man. Honestly, I think it was the match of the night. Obviously, I had high hopes for another match that we're going to talk about later. But this match definitely. I mean, it kind of just you see why they picked these two guys, right? Yeah. You have Brian Danielson, you have Moxley, who are both extremely talented individuals. Yes. They're in the same faction, the Blackpool Fighting Club. I forget what it was. Combat Club, the BCC. And even after the entire match, they still, much respect. Regal came out. I think that was the only option that they could go with. I think if they would have gave it to Daniel, it would have just kind of been like, oh, okay, well, we're going to put the title on another WWE guy. Even though Moxley is a previous WWE guy, I think he is the epitome of what an AEW wrestler is, right? He's been there pretty much from the start.
That's true.
I don't see this guy politicking. I don't see this guy kissing up, or
he just wants to go and wrestle.
Yeah, he just wants to wrestle. He just wants to face the best. So I think they went with the right call. I don't think he should have lost the title from the very big. I don't think he should have lost it against Punk anyway. So I think it kind of makes him look a little bit weird. The fact that he won the title.
But it's not his fault. But at the end of the day, it's not his fault. And a lot of it was real life getting in the way.
Yeah,
because it was just a legitimate injury. Because storyline, who knows? Maybe it would have been great, but we don't know. We're never going to know. So that's why I don't know. But now the one thing that I will say that did surprise me about Jon Moxley was he was doing a little bit more mat wrestling.
Yeah,
he looked. I was like, wait a minute. He didn't look sloppy. Like he looked really good out there. I was like, why don't we get this guy every day? Why is it always like the crazy dude just doing a bunch of stupid shit? This was controlled.
Yep, exactly.
This is controlled Moxley. It made sense. The other thing is that obviously he has a good ring general to feed off of too with D-Bry, because I don't think I have seen a bad match of his probably in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah,
I swear everything that he does turns into gold. Like he makes anybody look good. Like he's literally the new Bret Hart.
Yep, he
will make anybody look fantastic. And we saw that in this match. Everything looked really good because like I was saying, I like Moxley, but I hate when he starts getting all sloppy, like with that match with Jericho, the one like was it 4 or 5 weeks ago? That was just terrible in my opinion. That everybody was praising it, but I thought it was extremely sloppy. So I think he did really, really good. They told a great story, so it was more. It's kind of a weird mix of like WWE and AEW kind of logic, kind of psychology, because it had those elements of both, because you have the good mat wrestling and everything, but then they slowed it down. They took their time. They let the story breathe.
Yep.
Now, the only thing I don't like about the match is the ending. This whole thing of you have to stop trying to make somebody look strong.
Yep.
Stop doing that. If you're not good enough to take a loss, then you're not a top guy.
Yeah, I agree.
So either Daniel Bryan is a top guy or he isn't.
Yeah.
Because if he can why can't he lose clean? Why does it have to be like all of a sudden he passes out?
But I think, and it's a lot.
Or he gets a concussion.
Yeah.
No, make a guy.
But that's the issue. I think they don't want. I think they believe that they are keeping them strong by doing this, but it really just is like, oh, okay, here's another finish. Kind of like in the first 2 years where we were getting a lot of draws.
Well, D-Bry, like his first 2 matches, weren't they draws?
Were draws, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't think they want him to take the pin, but I honestly think passing out has been done so much that it's just kind of like, oh, okay, here comes another guy passing out. Tapping out would have been terrible. Probably would have been the worst ways to go out, right? But no, man, just fucking take the pin, count to 3, give him a good count. Obviously, that goes to show the world too. Like, okay, if he counts,
that you're the best.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. You want to see who's the best. And passing out. I mean, we're not UFC. We want to see a pin or an actual tap out.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the two. But that kind of sucked. I really that kind of. Everything was good until that point, in my opinion. And I do understand why they gave him the title too. I mean, he's been kind of the flag bearer for AEW for the last couple of years. Like you were saying,
he's been the constant. He's been the one constant.
Like he's been the dependable guy. Even when he went out, he went out in rehab. He came back. He was in better shape and everything. Much better wrestler. Yep. So I got to give him credit. I got to really give him credit. So to a certain extent, what I've wanted to see Bryan win. Yes, because I love Daniel. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yep.
But it makes sense why they went with John.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: What did you think about them cutting over to MJF like every other minute?
distracting. It was very distracting because then because then it's like, and then they instead of putting him like in a little small corner like they've done since the 80s, just put him in a little corner. You don't have to like literally take the whole screen, put 2 little screens and a big ass graphic in the back. Like that's really distracting. I'm like, come on. Like it's worse. It was worse than the regular picture-in-picture that they put in the ads. Why couldn't they just do that at least? No, it's like almost the same size, and you're just looking at MJF with the
fucking big ass poker chip. Yeah, fucking
and
ridiculous.
What the fuck? And but the sad part is that if it would have been like Money in the Bank, that would have made more sense. But he can't do it. He has to schedule it, which I think that completely takes away from the whole damn thing. Anyways,
well, this was the confusing part because I was watching an interview with Tony Khan. I think it was with. I'm not even gonna try to remember because I don't remember. But he had an interview recently for Grand Slam, and they asked him like, "So is it like the Money in the Bank?" So technically, I think it is like Money in the Bank because he's come out and said that he has a match whenever he wants. It's been sanctioned. So if that means, hey, I can go to the ring right now, cash in technically. But I want to say that he did mention that he has sanctioned whatever match he ends up choosing. I don't know if it has to be pre-announced. I don't know if it's immediate. But then once again,
and that's a problem. They've had that chip for 2 fucking years, and we still don't know what it does.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like Money in the Bank. That's just straight up. And that's why it made sense. That's why it made sense because it could literally create a champion out of anybody at any time. Yep. The chip, it's kind of like that, but not really. Because nobody knows if Tony Khan 2 years into this poker chip or whatever it is, 2 or 3 years, I don't know. Has it been 3 years that they've had the poker chip?
Yeah,
at least 2 years. At least 2. At least 2
years of the golden
poker
Cheerio
chip, right?
of the golden Cheerio has been 2.
Oh shit! Yeah, that too.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just so confusing because you still have the brass ring and then you have the poker chip, which is just like, God damn it! Like I think
so. But if you're still explaining it 2 years after the fact. Something's not right.
Yeah.
That almost sounds like a TNA thing. Remember when they used to have like a Royal Rumble?
Yeah, the ladder match where like you had to climb up and then exit the cage. I don't know.
It was the other way around.
But
to get into the cage or something.
Yeah, like it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Like Money in the Bank, short and sweet, right? Hey, you get the contract. You can cash in the contract whenever you want. Exactly. Right? And I think they did it perfect with Edge because I don't think anybody really thought you could do it at any time.
No, Edge was the first one. That's why he was the ultimate opportunist, which that made him because was that his first title, right?
Yeah, it was his first championship. Yep, right after Elimination
and it made
Chamber.
sense. And his personality fit it perfectly. That's why Money in the Bank is always better with a heel. Yep. Even though I don't like Austin Theory, but whatever. I would have given it to. Actually, I would have preferred Kevin Owens, but that's me.
Yeah, but
I understand where they're going.
Yeah, he's in this like tweener, like you don't know, so it's either he's
and the kid's good. The kid's good in the end of the day. I don't like him that much, but he is for his age. I mean, he's great. He's like the next Randy. He's like the next Randy Orton, I think. If everything works out,
he's gonna serve his purpose. He's gonna do what he needs to do. But going back to the poker chip, it just needs to be better explained. We need to have a clearer picture. Seeing him with that chip just to me looks ridiculous, dude. You're fucking walking around with this big ass fucking poker chip, like everybody thinks like, oh, you have to walk around with that fucking briefcase. Yeah, but that briefcase makes sense. I have a contract in there. Yeah, but fucking poker chip or the fucking golden Cheerio.
Could you imagine?
Ridiculous.
Running around like Sonic or something.
Jesus
Christ. It's stupid. Like it's, I don't understand it. They have to make their minds up, and whenever they introduce something new, explain it. And if it takes you more than 5 seconds to explain it, scrap the whole damn thing.
Yeah, just like the casino battle royale, where you got all the clubs, all the spades, and then at the end you got the Joker.
You have the Joker.
It's just too much, man. It's just too much. I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Can't do it.
But going on to the next topic, we have the Women's World Championship match, which honestly, I ain't even going to talk about it. Didn't care. Sorry, much respect to the performers and everything. but it was more to bring in
Paige.
the big one, to bring in Saraya.
Paige.
So that's it. Was just a means to an end.
Can we
That's
talk
all
about
it was.
Can we talk about the Athena spot where she's carrying Britt and I forget the other girl's name, and she lands on Britt's face. It's just like Jesus Christ. Dude. They just can't get. They just they try to give them something, and at the end of the day, they just kind of like.
Because they try too hard.
Yeah.
They try too hard. If you haven't done a spot, because it takes, first of all, it takes two to tango.
Yep.
It takes you and the other person. 3, luck. 4, lights are brighter when you have people in a stadium, so you're going to sweat more. Even the ropes are going to have condensation. I've heard wrestlers talk about that before. So the situations do change. So why not make it simpler? Kind of like what we said a few weeks ago about Sheamus and Gunther, right? They had like 5 moves, but they told a story. That's all it takes. You don't have to do all this flippy shit or try to do all this flippy shit if it's not going to come out right. Because then what's the purpose? You're just going to look like a goofball out there doing all this extra stuff for no reason.
Yeah, you're just doing flips just for the sake of doing fucking flips.
Yeah. In fact, and I hate keeping on bringing up the WWE, but it's what we have to compare it with. Yep. But it's like, for example, with the women, with like I don't know if you remember that match with Charlotte and Natty in NXT ages ago.
Yeah,
that was a very simple
Bret
match.
Hart and Rick.
Yes, that was a very simple match. It was strict wrestling match. Nothing crazy. They both executed really well. They both sold really well. They told a story. It was perfect. It was perfect. There wasn't any crazy high spots. Nothing, and it made sense. It made sense.
That's the thing, right? It's just keep it simple, stupid. Like it's just like I don't know, man. But the thing is. And I feel like every week I have to say this. It sounds like we're just talking shit just to talk shit, but I feel like I have really accurate criticisms. So, for instance, like every time they bring someone in, it's like, oh, okay, here comes the fucking AEW community on Twitter. Game changer. This is going to change the game. Fucking women wrestling in AEW now. Okay, that's what they said with fucking Ruby. And where's she now? I don't know where she's at, honestly. She's fucking at home. In
a medical facility.
Right? With
probably.
her fucking neck broken.
And her nose broken.
What's his name? Sean Sapp was, oh my God, they got Athena. This is huge for AEW. And where's she at now? Doing nothing. Like, it's garbage, okay? No one takes that division in AEW serious. Because
but look at Toni Storm. Look at Toni Storm, the fucking champion. And her matches are nowhere near where they used to be. Forget about
That's crazy.
In NXT UK. Just regular WWE matches. Like,
all the matches with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Those were good matches. Solid matches.
What the hell? Yeah. Like, I don't know. They've completely killed her. I don't know if it's her or what it is. The other thing is that I think a lot of these people in AEW, they give them liberty. But not everybody has the talent or the know-how to be able to do that. For example, Jericho, you could tell him, give him the keys to the car. Why? Oh. He's been there, done that.
Yeah, that's
Mox,
experience.
to a certain extent. D-Bry, you could do that. But you're not going to do the same thing with, for example, let's say, which we're going to talk about him in a little bit. For example, the Acclaimed. No, you got to guide him, and that's why they're probably with Billy Gunn. Because Billy Gunn is there trying to guide him. And it wouldn't shock me if during the match he's like, hey, guys, don't do it that way or whatever. Yep. Why? Because he's been around. He's somebody that you can trust. He's somebody that can actually coach these guys, get better. And until they actually change their booking style, it's not going to work. I think there has to be a balance between not only having somebody tell them and guide them, but also have the opportunity to be able to try new things and use your creativity, but not to a point that it messes up the story or that it just random stuff. Because then you end up having the same ending to 3 matches in a row, which has happened how many times in AEW?
A lot.
Almost every week. A lot. Yep. And it's a shame. It's a shame because it takes away from good matches.
It does.
But yeah, so do you really think she's going to have a big impact on the women's division?
I don't, man. And I don't want to say this because it does sound bad. I saw a lot of memes yesterday. I even shared a meme with you guys. With the performance they have there, I would not trust putting her in the ring with any of them currently. Right, just the Athena spot right there, right where she fucking landed on Britt's face. Imagine that was Paige.
Oh God!
Right, and I think
and as long as she's little either.
Yeah, and they have her on there as an active wrestler, I think, because she does have the win, loss, draw column in there. But man, I think it's a huge mistake to have her wrestling. If she goes down, it's just gonna make AEW look terrible for number one, letting her wrestle. Number two, for putting her in there with people who probably aren't at the level that they should be. Yeah. And if she is winning and doing good, there's gonna be criticisms of like, oh, okay, why couldn't they book everybody else like this? Why did it have to be her? Yeah. You know, so I just think it's just not a good move on their part. Maybe if they wanted to bring her in as like back office, a producer, a manager, I think that would probably be the best bet. But I don't know, man. I have no interest in watching Saraya wrestle, dude. Like, I don't know.
You know what? Honestly, I like it. I like her. I think she's cool and everything. She's not a bad wrestler. She's really good in the ring. The bad part is that she is probably by far the best women's wrestler they have right now.
Yeah, agreed.
So but the problem is she has nobody to dance with.
Yep.
So what are you gonna do now in terms of booking and stuff like that? What they should have done is just bring a few other, I guess, WWE rejects and have them kind of invade AEW, which has been overplayed. But whatever. But you could have done something like that, so at least there's more people to wrestle with. But right now, who's she gonna wrestle? Toni Storm. Maybe, because at least Toni Storm, she seems like she's pretty safe. But could you imagine her against Thunder Rosa? Like, all of a sudden, like, oh God, there goes her head. Yep. Could you imagine her against Jade Cargill, which I don't think she even knows how strong she is.
Yeah, no,
bro, that's an injury or a wheelchair waiting to happen. Like, it sounds bad, but it's the damn truth.
I think they're gonna give her the Punk treatment, where she comes out. I guarantee you, she's gonna have a promo on Wednesday, talking about how she's there to lift the division up, how she wants to give all the young girls a chance. She's going to squash everybody, and then we're going to be in the same situation as Punk. Not like the whole complaining, talking all that shit, but we're going to be in the same situation where, well, here she is. She's obviously going to be champion. But then you put people in a situation where they have to be put on the back burner, like Thunder Rosa. Britt Baker. I mean, Britt hasn't really done shit since she lost the title, right? Like, she's still just there. Toni, I'm sorry, I don't care for Toni in this role. I didn't care for her in WWE either, man. So I just want that.
But in NXT UK, she was good.
She was good. She was good. But I think the only real time I cared about her was when she was going up against Rhea.
That's true.
Those were like some of the best matches, but that was it. Like, after that, I didn't care for Toni.
That was like what, like 5 years ago or like 4 years ago at least? Right?
Yep, it feels like it. It feels like it.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. I just think it's just gonna be a bigger waste. I saw a lot of people also complaining about like, oh God, like Tony's just bringing in people just for the sake of having a shock value, right? Like, he's just bringing in people now just to do it, He's
done that since day one, so it's not shocking anymore. Like,
yes,
because he's done that how many times already? He did it in the first show. John Moxley,
Yeah, that's true.
Christian.
He's gonna outwork everyone,
I mean, and he has barely worked.
Yep, that's true.
He's barely worked. You brought in Miro, nothing.
Damn, should have came to the Fed,
the only
Christian.
You know, the only one that did pretty well, and rest in peace, was Brody Lee. He was the only one that actually seems like they gave him a good character and everything. So
yeah, he was great.
You know, and it's a shame because the work rate, quote unquote, in AEW is pretty good, but it's frustrating.
Yeah, the potential would have been great. Would have been great there.
Then the tag championship match, we had the Acclaimed against Swerve in Our Glory, which
what did you think?
It wasn't you predicted it last week where you were like, this match wasn't going to be as good as the other one.
Yep.
Also, that spot with Max Caster, I don't know if he got injured for real or he didn't, which was kind of weird.
I didn't know this, but
I don't think anybody knows.
No, yeah, I didn't know this, but I was listening to Busted Open.
Yeah.
And they said that they had the same exact spot, but opposite. So, like, it was the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Max Caster landed his move, and the other guy
or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, when I saw it on here, like, I was obviously paying attention, and yeah, it just looked weird. I just didn't get the point of it.
Yeah,
but the match was good. It's just, man, they should have just called an audible at All Out, because we all kind of knew it was going to happen. Like, you wouldn't have this match, a rematch immediately if it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, well,
it's kind of like it, and like in All Out, it was almost like, okay, there we go. The balloon's growing. Then it just fizzled out. Didn't explode. So that's basically what it felt like. And then now it was like, okay, we're trying to fill that balloon as much as we can, but you kind of miss that special moment. And it was especially being All Out. That's kind of like their WrestleMania.
Yep.
I think it would have been, but honestly, but in the end of the day, it was a good match. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a bad match whatsoever.
It's very enjoyable, very entertaining. The whole scissor me daddy ass thing, I've always said it's weird, but it's funny as hell. It works. Yeah. Max Caster at first, when he first started with the whole rapping thing, I could not stand him. But then all of a sudden now it's like, this guy's actually kind of funny. I think I got used to him or something, but it was pretty good. He's not bad. He's not bad.
Yeah, very good team, solid team. Both of them are pretty. They have talent. Max Caster freestyling is actually very, very good, very entertaining. The other guy apparently is the first openly gay champion, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Well, but it wasn't Darren Young the first one? I thought he was.
Shit, yeah, I guess so. I guess
for
AEW, maybe for AEW.
Well, maybe active, because I think he may have said something after he won the title.
Yeah, I think it was after.
Like after it was he gone or something.
Yeah, I think it was after the fact that he came out.
Yeah, so congrats to him, man. That's awesome.
His book. Yeah, so that was good. Like, it's a good match. I honestly was expecting more of
Swerve.
I guess, more of an issue with Swerve and Keith. Like, I didn't do anything. I was just like, okay, but I guess in one case, I guess it's better just because it's like, okay, well, they didn't win the title because they weren't getting along. They just beat them.
Yeah. Now the one thing that I didn't like was how they left. That Swerve was like, I don't know if he was selling, like if he was out of it for real or if he was just, he didn't believe it. And then Keith Lee just looked like a big goof, just kind of moping. He was like, like he just looked like a big bear, just like moping or something.
So my question to you is, where do Swerve and Lee go from here? Where do they go? Where do they go? Where should they go?
I think they're gonna fight each other.
You think
like
so?
It has to go that way. I don't know what it's going to lead to in the end. I don't know if there's going to be any relevance or importance to it, but I guess it'll work. They can work together. Yeah, it's perfect for Keith Lee because big guy against a very athletic guy. Even though Keith Lee is super athletic for his size,
yeah. But then who wins? Like, once again, like, you give it to Keith Lee, that squashes Swerve. You give it to Swerve, that crushes Keith Lee. Like, once again,
the way I see it is, they should have Swerve win, and then just Keith Lee gets pissed and he goes, like, he turns heel. The only thing about Keith Lee is that as a heel, I haven't seen him be that credible because he's talking like Shakespeare. Like, he's not very.
Yeah, I don't see that guy as a heel, dude.
It's weird, but he's not like a regular baby face either. Like, I think the talking part is where he takes you out of it.
Yeah,
when he's talking, that's the only thing. And he's amazing in the ring. He's and like I said, especially for his size, like, dude can do some crazy things. But at the end of the day, where does it lead you?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Keith Lee. I really do. I think his best work was in NXT. But I don't know, man. It's just something about him now that I can't connect with. I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on it. I see him and I'm like, it's just, I don't know, man.
I think at least in my opinion, I think it's more of a subconscious thing. The whole going through WWE and not being as good as they were in NXT, just like almost any other guy. It's like Karrion Kross right now. I like him, but I don't know if I buy it yet, Or a lot of these other people that went through, for example, like look at Malachi Black. Yeah, he was good, but he went through the whole WWE thing. That kind of didn't work out. That fizzled out, so now he just looks like a reject. So I think that's the problem. Anybody that looks like a reject kind of like doesn't. Because one thing is, like, for example, well, like D-Bry just, he finished his contract and just left and everything else. But some of these other guys, and hey, I don't blame him. Believe me, and I'm glad that they have somewhere else to work, because that's the one thing that if there's something good that that AEW brought to the table, was that now they have somewhere else to work and get paid well. Yeah, but it almost feels like you're getting, I'm gonna say something, but it's gonna sound pretty bad. Like you're just getting, leftovers basically.
I mean, but that is true. I mean, I think they dropped the ball with Malachi, and I just realized that we're not talking about Malachi this week, right? But I think they dropped the ball with him. WWE in the first place, because when he came back and he was attacking E, I was just like, oh shit, okay, here we go. All of a sudden, the next week he's out, right? He comes back in with Cody. Is okay, great, and then boom. But it also goes to show people, like, he came out and he was complaining. He was upset. He was upset about his position in the company. He feels like there was promises that were not kept, so he obviously felt like he was being lied to. But nobody talks about that stuff. Like, it's just like everybody gives AEW that pass. I think
Punk did.
Well, yeah, that's true, right? Yeah, that's fucking true, but still, dude, like, I don't know, man.
It's like I've said before, it's a damn math problem. They have 3 hours of TV and they have like 120 guys.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, you just don't have enough time. So what are you going to do? Have a pay-per-view with like 15 matches? Like how many matches was All Out? Was it 13 or 14 matches? Something like that?
All the matches.
That's the only way that you could get these people a payday.
Yeah, but you give fucking matches to, look, I don't like, but I think Wheeler Yuta is pretty good. But you give fucking Daniel Garcia 2 matches against D-Bry, and you can't find a spot for fucking Malachi? What the fuck, man? I don't care what story you're telling. That's just bad fucking booking. I'm not paying to see Daniel Garcia versus fucking Daniel Bryan. You could have given me Malachi Black and Daniel Bryan. That's fucking gold right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know, dude.
It just starts at the top.
Yep. Exactly.
Crazy old Tony.
Crazy fucking Tony. Cokehead Tony is what I call him.
Yikes. All right. So the next match, we're going to talk about Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli for the ROH Championship.
I think it's very simple, and I think we both understand why Jericho won.
Makes sense.
I'm assuming they got a TV contract with someone, or some type of contract, and obviously Jericho is the face, kind of once again, just like what they did with the first AEW pay-per-view and giving it to him as champion, just because he brings some credibility, some name, drawing power. That's what I meant. But I think that just sucks for fucking Cesaro. Like, it's just
another L for him, bro.
Yeah, you finally give him his title, and he loses to fucking Jericho. Like, that makes no sense.
And of all titles, the ROH title, which, in my opinion, AEW title, no. WWE title, no. But the ROH title kind of works really well with him, with his style and everything, because he's phenomenal in the ring. Like, he's great.
Carried the match.
I love him.
Carried that match.
I love him, but they took it away. But I understand why they did it to a certain extent. I can't be mad at them for that either, because now if Cesaro ends up winning it back, or Claudio, whatever, he ends up winning it back, now it's going to mean more because Jericho had that title.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you're saying with the AEW title. They could have started with Hangman, but tell me who gave a shit about Hangman Page at that time? Nobody did.
But
so nobody even knew him. So they gave it to Jericho. So anybody that took it away from Jericho, it meant something. It has some prestige behind it.
But I don't even think they're going to go back to Claudio. I think Daniel Bryan's going to end up winning the title from Jericho.
Ooh, I don't know, because they're also doing the whole thing with the Daniel Garcia thing, which I don't know.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe Daniel. Can you imagine Daniel Garcia taking it from Jericho?
While I was saying it, I was thinking it too.
Yeah,
no,
like,
that would suck. That would suck. That would definitely suck. I know they're trying to make a guy, but come on, man. Like, you can't force it either.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy's decent in the ring and everything, but yeah, he still needs time. Just and you're actually hurting the guy too to try to push him too quickly.
Yeah.
Just let him. He has that ROH pure title, whatever. Let him have that for a few months. Let him win the ROH tag team with somebody else. Let him get some personality, get some story.
Yeah.
Learn how to tell a story, and I'll take it. And hey, he might turn into something later on, but you never know.
Yeah.
But forcing something like this quickly, I hope they don't fall flat on their face for his sake. Because in the end of the day, for him to be able to recover, it's going to be almost impossible.
Yeah, I still don't care for this guy. I still don't care for that guy. I just don't see any type of. I don't know. I don't see anything in him. Yeah, I don't feel like he has charisma. I don't feel like he's entertaining. I don't care for his matches. He looks like a fucking bum.
Bro, he's dollar store Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
So it's just terrible. I don't know what he's doing backstage. I don't know if he's that cool with Jericho that Jericho's just like, we need to be pushing this guy. At least Yuta can go. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least he can have fucking banger ass matches.
Well, the thing is that Daniel Garcia, he can have matches because I even saw him live the one time I went to see him, and it was good. He was fighting against I think it was. What's his face? Something Martin, whatever the guy, the flippy guy, whatever it is. It's young too. That was actually pretty cool. That was a pretty good match. And he does have some talent. And in terms of personality and stuff like that, listen, if we have to put a mask on the guy and just let it ride, do it. Serious. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Just put a mask on him and hey, let's go. Because like I said, he's not bad in the ring. But he does have to show some kind of personality, and the best, at least the good thing is he does have Jericho there, which will be able to kind of take, and he has Daniel Bryan, and if in real life Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho have trust this guy so much, there must be something behind it.
Yeah,
which they know more than we will ever know about wrestling.
True, very true.
So,
very true.
I have to give him. Pass there, but I feel bad for Claudio getting the damn L.
That's terrible, man.
Again,
we fucking finally, and even the way he won it too, right? Like the whole issue with Gresham. It's I don't know, man. Once again, it's not been a great run so far for him.
No.
Yeah.
Just put him to fight with Joe like 75 times and we're good with that.
Yeah, I would be more interested in the fucking television championship right now with him and Samoa Joe than with anybody else right now.
Well, actually, the TV title was more entertaining, anyways. Like we were saying last week with Jay. Yeah, it was more entertaining because that was fun.
Yep.
In fact, why don't they do that? You know what? You know who they should bring in? They should try to bring in the Briscoes. That'd be a good idea. That'd be a good idea. That I think would light a fire under everybody's ass, especially in the tag team division. FTR would be ecstatic. They'd be super happy. And then just have ROH, but I wouldn't mix in a lot of AEW guys. Just kind of have AEW, ROH be its own thing. I don't want to see Cesaro on Dynamite. I want to see him in ROH. I want to see Samoa Joe.
Just give me ROH.
Thinking about it, I may want to see him in Dynamite, but I want him to have time. So I'd rather just have him, go to ROH, have like 20 guys. Don't even have, 57 guys go to ROH. Just have like a good 20 guys, and that's it. And that's your show. Yep. 1 hour long, once a week, and we're good. That's it. It's not that hard.
Not that hard, but they can't even fucking book their main show the correct way. So I don't have any faith in them booking ROH the way ROH should be booked.
Yeah, well, and then the guys that are close to them, for example, like you're not going to say, okay, hey, D-Bry, here's a pencil, go ahead, do it.
Yep.
Because it's going to put a lot of heat on him. So you don't want that either.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, and then the
final match.
The final match we're going to talk about was the AEW All Atlantic Championship match.
as you say, the most
Pac versus
prestigious, the most prestigious title in all
history,
of professional wrestling.
The history in that title.
I'm telling you, man. I honestly, I don't really have too much of an opinion on this. I was not paying attention. I enjoy Orange Cassidy, but man, as I was watching the entrances and I was watching him, I'm like, dude, he's like an entertaining person, but I just don't get the fucking matches, dude. Him rolling in slow into the ring, and then like his fucking kicks, like, you know, I think the first 3 times that I saw him, I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, this is fun. But then it's just like, oh, it's fucking the same shit over and over and over again, dude. Like,
yeah. You know what bothers me about the whole thing? That Pac was complaining before with the previous company that he was having to put over Enzo, but at least it made money.
Yep.
At least people were paying attention to it.
Now
he's
not.
You're literally
him over, but
you're not even mid carder. You're like lower mid card at this point, because that title means I don't even know where it fits in the big scheme of things. It's right it's slightly above the FTW title.
Yep, pretty much
right there. It's so right there.
Titles, dude. So many.
Like it makes no sense. So I don't even know where it fits. I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know. At least with ROH, it makes sense. They have the ROH heavyweight, the pure, which is like supposed to be like for the purest wrestler or whatever it is, and you have the TV title, which is defended every time they're on TV.
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense. Simple.
Yep.
But this whole All Atlantic, whatever BS, I don't know. The women, why do they have 2 women's titles?
TV. You know, look, I will say this. I think the best thing that they do have going for them is the fact that there are 2 women titles. I feel like WWE has always needed a secondary title. Their version
for women?
The IC title, their IC version of the title, right? Not everybody can be champs. And if they're not the world champion, they need a secondary title to have a feud over as well. So I don't have a problem with the TNT Women's Championship or the TBS. The names are terrible.
Yeah.
I think WWE could benefit from having a second women's championship, but
yeah,
I don't have a problem with that. I think the issue with AEW is the fact that, once again, for the women just aren't there, man. They're just not. They're not up to par.
And it's sad because you could tell they're trying, but I think they're trying too hard.
Yeah,
like they're either not listening to the coaches in the back, or they're not telling them anything, because they're not getting any better, which is pretty sad. Like I really want to see damn good wrestling. I want to see good stories. So
yeah, I mean, granted, forget all the negative things that I've said about the show so far. I enjoyed the show, man. I had a good time watching it. I'm just like, okay, 2 hours, especially that main event. It's more in the sense of like, okay,
nitpicking.
I went in there to see the righting of the wrong of the Acclaimed, right? But then you just lose the specialness of like, okay, well, we know they're having this rematch because they're gonna win. Claudio and Jericho, I'm like, okay, cool. I want to see these 2 guys go at it, and then fucking Jericho wins, and I'm like, no, like this doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense why, right? But it doesn't.
Yeah, but that's the problem. It makes sense in real life, but storyline wise, it doesn't.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. They're making stuff that and that's the thing. I don't care about real life. That's why I watch this stuff. Like I've said before, if I want to watch real fighting, I'll watch UFC. If I'm watching a movie, I'm watching it to get away from real life for a little bit. I'm not doing it so I could watch. If I want to watch something real and depressing, I'll watch the damn news.
Yep, exactly.
That's what I want. I'm not going to do that. So that's why I watch wrestling. That's why I enjoy wrestling, to let myself go, like just get away from everything. That's what I like. It's an escape. So and that's the problem. That when I end up watching a match and I'm trying to make sense out of it in real life, it's nothing. It's kind of like watching a movie with Tom Cruise. No matter what Tom Cruise does, it's always watching a movie. Oh, that's Tom Cruise playing X or Y.
Yep.
Same exact thing. I'm always thinking of why they're doing it. And I shouldn't have to think about that. I should just be able to let go.
Yeah.
Let them guide me. Not me trying to make sense out of the whole thing. Wait, what was Tony Khan thinking about this? That's not my job.
Yep.
My job is to be a fan and to enjoy it. Sit down, crack a beer open, and just watch.
Yep.
Enjoy. Not have to figure stuff out on why they did something.
Yeah,
because
it
may be better for business.
reason. Yeah, they had to do this for a reason because, once again, him taking the loss to Jericho makes no sense. I don't care that Jericho's been a veteran for the longest. He's obviously one of the GOATs of wrestling, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But it just came out of nowhere. It just came out of nowhere.
We even said it last week.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Like, we almost said it as a given. Yeah. Like, we weren't even giving Jericho a chance to win because we were like, oh, yeah, come on. There's no way.
They could take it away from him immediately. But, yep, they did it. Those motherfuckers
exactly.
did it.
Exactly. So, yeah. So I think that part kind of, I didn't like that. The good thing is the show did end. The high notes of the show, that in the end of the day, I do think that Moxley winning was pretty cool in the end of the day. That was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. They definitely deserved it. Renee's mad. She wanted to go on vacation.
Probably.
She wanted to go on vacation.
Has she said anything?
No, I shouldn't say anything.
Hey, what a shock.
As much as I clown on Moxley, he definitely, in my opinion, he's the heart and soul of that company. Yeah. So for him to have it definitely is worth it. Before we sign off, the one thing that just does not make sense to me, for a company that takes as many digs as they do to WWE, for a company that claims that their title is the most prestigious title, why the fuck do they count the WWE title as one of those reigns? They kept saying he was a 4-time champion now. So what? He was a 2-time. He's been a 3-time AEW champion and obviously the WWE champion. So he's a 4-time champion. So like that makes no sense that they consider those and they bring it up all the time.
Well, I mean, I would count it just because it's the biggest company, so you have to count it no matter what you
count it. Yeah, we count it. But if he went back to the WWE, they would not consider it. They'd still be like, this is a 2-time. If he ever won it again, they'd be the 2-time.
Well, even though
champ.
WWE has changed their tune a little bit on certain things, because even Flair won it 16 times, and he'd only won it twice in WWE.
Yep. Well, yeah.
So same thing, and it was against the NWA, which they were really enemies of Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
it wasn't like Tony Khan. Tony Khan, he just sees him as a little bug. These guys were real competition.
But that's the only guy. It's only ever been just Ric Flair that gets the benefit of the doubt there. But
yeah, but still, I mean, but the thing is that I do think that. At some point, they're going to have to recognize each other's. Now, at what level? Because it's like right now, like Jericho was saying, oh, yeah, number 8. So you're telling me that you're counting the ROH title as valuable and as prestigious as the AEW title or WWE title?
Undisputed, yeah.
No. Because if not, what are we going to start doing? Bro, Santana won this title in Puerto Rico at Laue or something. That was it. So you're going to say he's a world champion?
24/7 title?
No, but that's not a world championship.
It's not a world championship.
We're talking about so that means that any world title will count as a world title. You're gonna say, oh yeah, he won the TNA title. That counts as a world title reign.
Yeah, there needs to be some
and that's the problem. But I don't think they'll ever be.
Yeah,
they'll never be.
They're writing the rules as they go.
Yeah. Well, and I think in AEW, the thing is they just wanted to say these guys are the best of the best.
Yeah.
That's all they're trying to say. These guys, they've done well in other companies, and they're coming over here. So instead of being rejects, they're trying to put them like if they're the best, which honestly, the ones that the people in the finals were not rejects. They're actually the people that left on their own accord.
Yeah,
they're the best of the best that left.
Yep.
So, and in the end, the 2 that you had left were probably the best 2 of whomever came over from WWE, or at least the ones that you could get the most out of him.
Other than Jericho, but I'm sorry, Jericho he's just an old man at this point.
Yeah.
Brother. It always had to be Moxley and fucking Daniel Bryan. It always had to be them. And I do agree with the champion. It had to be Moxley. It had to be Mox.
Yeah. I wanted D-Bry to win just sentimentally, but I think Mox Mox is good. I like it too, man. He's damn good. Well, let's see. All right, man. So, actually, I think we'll wrap it up here till next week. So, anything else you have to add?
That's it, man. A good 49 minutes of talking to you. I feel like we always talk like, oh, this is going to be short, but we always have shit to say. So,
hey, it's only once a week with AEW. So
that's right.
We got to say everything that happened in the week.
Everything that we can. That's right.
Yep. All right. All right, guys.
All right, Javi.
So as always, peace out, guys. Bye.
Later, y'all.